Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Zenger's Industrial Supply in Melrose Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And we're here, and Amy is here.
I can't believe I'm here today.
On this day without a woman. And refresh our recollection, Amy, how does this work?
We're against economic injustices. We want equal pay, and today it works where all women are supposed to stay home, whether if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're obviously going to stay at home, but they don't want you to shop at big box stores or, say, the Jewels. They want you to shop at locally owned women or minority-owned businesses.
Now, let me just see if I can work the logic on this. Help
and you're
me.
Supposed to wear red.
And I suppose you're not supposed to employ logic either, because I think I've got a bit of a brain teaser for you.
Yeah.
If you're a woman and you're supposed to not go to work,
how do you work at the small business that you own? Great question.
And how do you shop at a business owned by a woman who's not at her business?
Yeah, it's great.
Because then you have all these restaurants in Chicago, Girl on the Go, GT Prime, and others that have put out memos to their employees saying, we might be short-staffed today because women don't have to come to work today.
All right. Well, somebody who did come to work today is Jason Zenger. He is the principal of Zenger's Industrial Supply, where we are located. Also, his wife owns a business, Amy. So why don't you just get off your high horse, spreading it around in the Zenger family, Zenger empire, really, I think I should call it. Jason, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dan and Amy.
So tell us a little bit about the business. I know it's family-owned. I used to live not too far from here in the Rosemont area, so I've been past this business for a million times, and I know it's been here a long time, but your family's business story.
Yeah, so we're an industrial tool and supply company. We've been, as you said, located here on Grand Avenue since 1951. So quite a long time. Started by my grandfather, and then my dad took over, and now my sister and I are here, another woman in business.
Besides,
Yes.
Amy.
Don't give me the stink eye, you people.
We've been around since 1951, and we supply tool, and we are a tool and supply company to all of the machining and manufacturing companies here in the northwest side of Chicago. And our objective is to cut the frustration of those manufacturing professionals by having the right tools in the right place at the right time.
And I spoke with your dad for a while. Lovely man, served in the Illinois National Guard, and he said, I've been here 50 years of business. If to have 100 bad days is not a bad thing.
And you know what those 100 bad days are?
Yeah, what are
days that I frustrated him.
See?
Yeah. So I'm the bane of those 100 bad days.
What does making chips mean?
Making Chips is actually it's a
shirt.
podcast. Yeah, no, thank you. Making Chips is a podcast to equip and inspire manufacturing leaders. So I have my own sort of radio show. I'm not as big as you two, but it's
trying to step.
I have my own
coattails.
little fiefdom on Making Chips.
Yeah, you will.
So you've got this. What is this? Eric Thomas, who's been so gracious and helped set up all these live remotes here, was so fascinated with this large tool.
That's
weighs
a gigantic, made in the USA, 1-inch drive Stanley Proto torque wrench.
That's
just
what
every girl dreams of.
Well, it's in a nice red case. I thought you would like that. It's like
it's
a red lipstick case. I thought you would appreciate that.
When you said large
that?
tool, I thought you were talking about Chuck Schumer.
I mean, what is that used for? Help a sister out here. 'Cause I don't get it.
That is used to remove and put on very, very large fasteners.
Okay.
Yeah.
And wow, that's pretty good. That thing weighs. That's very heavy. Yeah.
Those
you ain't
flywheel
seen nothing
classes
yet.
are really paying off.
It's expensive, so don't drop it.
No, here's something that's cool too. I've never seen this before. You've got like a tool vending machine that apparently you provide for clients as well. Explain that.
Okay, so what we do is we install these vending machines at manufacturing companies, and just like you'd get a candy bar or a pop out of a vending machine.
Not anymore. It's expensive.
Well, yeah, but the employees can go in there, scan a badge. It knows who's taking it out. It knows what job it's going towards, and you can have those tools right at the point of use and get a lot of data associated with who's using what.
That's pretty cool.
Now, how many people do you employ, and do you have a high turnover rate here, or pretty loyal employees?
Yeah, I would say we have a lot of people that have been with the company for a long time, longer than I've been here even. So at Zenger's, we have about 25. At Black Industrial, we have about 25. And at Making Chips, we have 3 of us.
So Making Chips is the podcast. Black Industrial, what's that?
That is also an industrial supply company in Hammond, Indiana. So they cover the south side of Chicago and northwest Indiana.
Go ahead.
Yeah, whereas Zenger's goes all the way up to the Wisconsin border in the Fox River Valley.
So it's just like a regional thing, or is it kind of sector specific?
Local, sector and local. So we focus on machining companies. They focus on more processing and building.
So when you talk to your dad about the business, I mean, other than you being kind of a problem center for the business, as I understand it,
or maybe just a problem child.
Yeah, right. I mean, what are the other challenges you guys talk about? I mean, for a business that's been here 60 plus years, the challenges you talk about continuing to do business in Cook County in Illinois.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned that we've been here for 60 years. It's not necessarily, I mean, we're busting out of the seams in our building, and it's not necessarily because we want to stay here. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia associated with being in the same place. But, just the tax code is difficult to, really expand your business, especially when you work on such tight margins like we do. Property taxes, everything like that, it makes things really difficult.
And I wonder what you hear, since you're supplying, these small manufacturers that are populated around O'Hare Airport, what you hear from the job shops and the tool and die shops and the plastic injection molding plants and all the kind of companies that you supply about their challenges as well. You guys have to talk, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually on the board of directors of the Technology and Manufacturing Association.
Right.
So I hear a lot of these things going around from my peers there. And, workers' comp is a huge issue. So, we talk about that all the time, that it really is driving a lot of companies out of the state of Illinois. I know that Indiana is a lot easier to do business in. So it's a factor. I mean, companies move north of the border of Wisconsin, too.
Well, can you tell me the differences in workers' comp between Illinois and Indiana? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I actually can't get into the technicalities of it because I just don't understand it that well. But there are some of my peers that do understand that, and it is a topic of discussion that amongst the TMA, we do have a lot of education associated with making sure that people understand how to lower your workers' comp and just how to. We have a whole government relations board that helps to fight against that.
Yeah, it's more than twice the rate. Companies pay more than twice the rate here as compared to Indiana, and the issue of causation, which is
causation is a big thing.
That's the big issue in terms of the causation of the injury, where and so there's different rules about causation that drive different price structures, and this is what's been hotly debated in Springfield, and why you won't have real true workers' comp reform if you don't address the issue.
Yeah,
of
and I do believe that there needs to be fair workers' comp. I mean, it shouldn't be one-sided or the other, but it needs to be fair. And if somebody truly does hurt themselves on the job, they need to be compensated for it. But it also can't swing too far in either direction.
Now, you mentioned this is a nostalgic location, because isn't your grandma's house part of this building? Because I think I went upstairs and I saw
She's sleeping.
Did you see her ghost?
I did. She spoke to me. She's like, "Why aren't you at work today?"
And by the way, this crackpot believes in ghosts. So just so we understand.
So when you hear a door slam around here, a lot of times we do say that it's
it's grandma.
Yeah.
But you built this around their house, which was in this location in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back then, you lived where you worked, and so they built the building in front of their house at that time, and then we've just kind of built around it, and now it's our kitchen and our catalog room. So we've used it, and we have
and grandma's knitting room. Don't forget
exactly.
about that. Sewing room.
Now this may be a 65-year-old zoning ordinance violation, but it's still a zoning ordinance violation. I'm going to have to report you to the Melrose Park Code Enforcement Office. I hate to do it.
Believe me.
I hate to do it, but I'm a stickler.
Oh my God.
That's okay.
Hey, the rules are the rules.
I've got nothing to hide, Dan.
What's the future of the business in Melrose Park? The business on the South Side, the podcast, or be nationally syndicated, and we'll just be here in Chicago.
Yeah,
outpace us.
Our objective is to be the largest independent industrial supply company here in the greater Chicagoland area. And as a lot of our competitors get bought out by larger companies, it actually provides a lot of opportunity for that, because they just don't get the same service that we can provide for those manufacturing companies.
He is Jason Zenger, principal of Zenger's Industrial Supply here in Melrose Park, and give me the business on the South Side.
Okay, the business on the South Side is blackindustrial.com, and then you can go to zengers.com and makingchips.com. And if you want to connect with me, you can go to jasonzenger.com.
Man, all these .coms. So just find Jason Zenger online and follow everything he does. That's the easiest way to go. Jason, thanks so much for joining us. Great to learn more about your business. And
thank you, Dan and Amy.
And your successes. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Zenger's Industrial Supply in Melrose Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
It's news.